Okay, so now let's jump to the congressional vote, and let's put yourself back in time and imagine that you're leading up to the 2006 midterm elections. And what is it that we all know is going to happen in that election? We all knew this coming into it. What was it? What was going to happen in Congress? Like, what do we know was going to happen in Congress? The Democrats, we knew the Democrats were going to get more seats, right? And so, you know, like, there's 435 seats in Congress, and you know, in my mind, like, we're all thinking, there's got to be a way of visualizing and showing people how the country is going to shift to the Democrats, right? So, you know, trying to figure out, so how would you? What are some ways that we can show this shift of the Congress? Sideways, just some simple ones.
Change the color of the states.
Change the color, so you could do. We could do a map, right, and show like the way the map of the U.S. You know, using our blues, we can highlight the districts in the country, right, that become Democratic. Right, that's one idea. What's another way of showing the shift? All right, so you could do the classic like seats in Congress graphic where you represent all the seats, right? And then we'll show how many of the like ones became Democratic with the shape. What's another way we can show the shift? Oh, before and after. So you can do that before and after, right? Yeah. So you can see how there would be more Democratic votes. But see, now the thing is that if you do it before and after, you only, like, because it's 435 seats, and ultimately it's almost like the electoral college, right? Like, you know, in an individual district, the candidate who ultimately becomes the representative might have won by 80% or might have won by 50%, right? Like, he could have won by a small margin or won by a large margin. And so, you know, the way, like, going into the election, we all kind of felt like, you know, there's probably going to be a shift in all the districts. But if we just do this on-off sort of shading, like, we're not going to capture that shift of the whole Congress, you know, and ultimately, like, representing the shift of the countries. So we wanted to cycle through some. This was a graphic that was done by the Washington Post, which I think was great because it showed going back in time, like how Congress like has shifted, like either the Republicans or the Democrats. And if you look at the top row, it shows you the party gains in the House and the Senate. You know, so you can see the in 1994 when there was a Republican Revolution, they picked up 52 seats, and so. You know, but this is the same thing with the problem where we're not going to be able to represent that nuance. Right? So this is a pretty standard bar that we kind of run usually on the front page after the election. They're just showing like how many Democrats held onto their seats, how many Republicans held onto their seats, and then how many seats were they changed parties. You know, but it isn't. You know, we're not capturing that. So let's get to how we're going to capture this. Okay, so. In the run-up to the 2006 midterms, like we ran through a whole bunch of different prototypes, like ways of visualizing it. So we decided one way of capturing this shift is to look at the what the representative, like what the vote for the representative was in 2004, and what the vote for the representative was in 2006. And we wanted to take we took the margin, whether it was for the Democrat or the Republican. So let's say that in 2004, the District 2 in California was won by a Republican by 30%. And then in 2006, it was won by, let's say that after that it was won by a Republican by 20%. So you just look at this for one district, right, the result ended up that the Republicans lost, like, even though Republicans still held on to the seat, they lost about 10% of their votes, right? So that's like sort of a barometer of the mood of the country, right? And that's the thing that I want to try to capture. So you know, one way of capturing, like, you know, if you have like this for all the districts, you know, for the whole country, you know, all this data, then you can plot it onto what's called a scatter plot. And so the axis on the bottom is the 1994 election result. This chart represents the difference between the 92 and the 94 election. I'm sorry, the 94 and 96. So the 94 results on the bottom. Everything to the right side of the center is like Republican, like votes for Republicans, and then everything to the left is votes for Democrats. And then everything on the vertical scale is the 1996 votes, and the Republicans are on the top and Democrats are on the bottom. So the dots that are in the middle are seats that were won by Democrats in 94 and won by a Democrat in 96. And dots that are in this quadrant up here in the top left, in the top right, are seats that were won by Republicans in 94 and in 96. And then these two quadrants here on this side and this side were these were ones that were won by Democrats in 94, but won by Republicans, and they became Republicans in 96. And these were, I'm all confused. Okay, so anyway, so this we're working through this. We made a couple prototypes of this, right? And it was really confusing. And you know, like when it takes that much time to explain it, like it may not even be worth the study. Like that. So we did try to get to a point where we could explain it. So we even came up with this key at the bottom to kind of explain, like, that quadrant is the districts that switched to Democrats, this quadrant is the one that switched to Republicans, you know, but somehow this was unsatisfying. Like, so it didn't speak to us in the way that we thought it needed to. So we tried some other stuff, and as you can see, like all of these things are like too complicated to explain, so I think we did them out. But this was a histogram idea.